Yo, I want to talk about the rising star, leader of the new generation. All right, so to speak. I know who you think. You probably think that's Luka Donkovic. But I'm not talking about Luka right now. I'm talking about the second guy that's going to lead this generation, but this next generation of basketball. The phenom himself, Zion Williamson, aka the Lion. I'm going to call him the Lion. All right, I'm pretty sure he's going to get a nickname as the time goes by, but we saw him play enough right now to assess his game a little bit so far in his rookie season. Right. Um, Now, when he first started playing, I thought the coaches was being a little too careful with him. I mean, he's a young kid. You got to let him get out there and play. And they could have actually won some of these games that they lost, but they put him to the sideline too much. And I thought they had a little problem of deciding whose team is going to be. Are you going to give this team to Brandon Ingram, or are you going to give it to Zion Williamson? Um, and I thought they had a hard time balancing those two guys out. But now he's been playing and he's been dropping some 30-point games. He dropped a 32-point game tonight. 19 shots, 11 for 19. Extremely efficient. All right. Now, we all know he could score now. Um, he's a pretty good defensive player for his first year. We're not expecting too much from your rookie year. So let's not go overboard and act like he has to, put up Walt Chamberlain stats, okay? But I think right now he's still just a power player. I mean, he's getting by on his athletic ability. He's big, he's powerful. I mean, he's just bodying people in the post. He could get to the basket almost at will, even now. But I mean, his jump shot's going to need some working on. His handles is a little suspect, but he does dribble pretty well for a guy his size. I do think in the future he's going to have to lower his weight. I mean, the weight thing is going to be an issue. If you're a pro basketball player, you're going to have to monitor your weight. And he seemed to be just all um, big, but it doesn't seem muscle. It just seems like fat big, you know. Um, his body type actually reminds me of a player from the '90s called Olive Miller. He played for the Suns for a while, but he couldn't stay in the league because he had weight issues. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but some of you probably don't even know who that is. But I think it's Olive. I can't pronounce his name right now, but his last name was Miller. He played on the Phoenix Suns for a while, and they kept bouncing him. And he was eventually out of the league because he had weight issues. Maybe in the comment section you could give me his name because I can't think of it right now at the moment for some reason. With that being said, I think he has a good future. He's definitely going to be an all-star. I think by putting up some of these numbers, you could tell he's going to be an all-star by next season. I'm going to put him on a rising stars list with Luka. Luka right now seems to be the most impressive. This guy could shoot the three ball off a step back dribble pretty much with efficiency. I mean, he's a monster. Um, he's already getting compared to Larry Bird. Maybe because they both were white. I don't know. But yeah. Um, Zion Williamson reminds me of a more better scoring version of Larry Johnson. Now, when you compare players like this and from complete different eras, you got to factor in the fact that there's rules that make the game different. Okay, some rules benefit today's players, some don't. Like if you're a traditional big, today's game is not going to benefit you too much. But if you played in the '90s, the game will benefit you a lot if you're a traditional big. Um, So each era has pros and cons. So take that into factor when you're breaking down the player's worth to a team. Um, I think Zion Williamson is going to be a perennial all star. Excuse me, for years to come. Um, he's going to be. Um, mm, I was about to say he could be a franchise player, but I haven't really seen that yet because I don't know if he could be a number one or a number two. You know how I talk about that in terms of a superstar because that means a lot if you're a superstar. Being the sidekick is something you do not want to be if you're winning championships and you're trying to increase your legacy. You could be a number two if you was a number one before and you get out of your prime and somebody else came over and and you're still winning championships. That only helps your legacy at that point, but it does put a little debt on it because you're not the number one all the time. Um, Zion being a future franchise player is very interesting. Depending on what team you build around him, you could possibly make him a franchise player. I think it's a little too early for me to give judgment on that. But basically, based off what I've seen from him lately, I think he's going to be a good player. I'm impressed by his power game. I pretty much know he was going to come into the league and play a power game. Get by on his athletic ability. So yeah, that's my assessment of Zion so far. I'm gonna keep tabs on him so I could break down his game a little more. Um, but I mean, he's just started back playing. A couple games. Even though I thought the coaches was holding him back, they should let him play these games and get this experience. He did get outplayed by Giannis a couple of weeks ago. It's a learning process for him. He's gonna have to learn a lot, but he's definitely showing improvement. He's gonna have to get in the gym, stay in shape, work on the jump shot, get better handles a little bit. And if he's gonna be down there in the post, work on finishing with both hands for layups, because he's a pure lefty. He's a true lefty. He's not like one of those players that could work with both hands. That's what he has to work on. What you think of Zion Williamson? Hit me down below. You know how it goes. Peace. Also, my throat is hurting a little bit, so it's hard for me to pronounce some words a little bit. But anyway, you know what to do. Keep that basketball talk going. Peace.